All right, Miles, let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals here for a little bit. Look, we all know it. The Bengals are one of the top contenders in football, and we always love to talk about teams that make smart moves, sneaky moves, under the radar kind of stuff, teams that make and find hidden gems in the draft. And we got a great story out of Cincinnati highlighting what we think a guy's a hidden gem who impressed us early on, but he's not just impressing us, Miles, he's impressing pretty much everyone on the Bengals staff right now.
Yeah, Nick, and you hit the nail on the head. If you want to be a contender, not only a playoff contender, but a perennial Super Bowl contender, as the Bengals are, you got to find hidden gems. You got to find diamonds in the rough to keep reloading this squad. That is what the best teams do, and the Bengals are no different. But before we get into all that, I want to ask the Bengals to take a deep dive into their backfield, and let's talk about the running back position. Bengals fans in the comments below today, I want to know who is your favorite running back in Bengals history. And there's a lot of new school, a lot of old school, really good options around the Bengals locker room in the running back position. So let us know in the comments below who's your favorite running back in Bengals history. But Nick, let's get on into it. What is the latest and the really great moves the Bengals have made?
Yeah, Miles, that question you brought up, I think it perfectly ties into the guy we're going to talk about. That, of course, is fifth round rookie out of the University of Illinois. That's running back Chase Brown. I really love watching this guy in college. I'm a big fan of Big Ten football. I thought he was really impressive for the Fighting Illini, and he's already off to a strong start with the Cincinnati Bengals. We've got a report from Bengals.com that highlights a few things that this kid has already done to impress pretty much everyone on the staff, whether it's fellow teammates or some of his coaches. This report is really miles long of all the great things this kid is doing. We're going to focus on just a few points here. Here's a report again from Bengals.com. Talking about Chase Brown, of course, position coach Justin Hill sees him in the Paycor Stadium multi-purpose room walking through the next day's practice script. His fellow Bengals rookies, wide receivers Andre Yosevis and Charlie Jones, help him make about 120 catches off the machine after each practice when they clear 4 racks of football 3 times. The thing is, Bengals rookie running back Chase Brown already knew all the things would happen at approximately those times because since his junior year at Illinois, he writes down everything he plans to do the next day on a sheet of notebook paper. All right, so just to back up a little bit, this is a guy, a rookie, a 21, 22-year-old kid, takes the time to plan out every second, every step of his day as a pure professional, whether it's walking through the next day's practice script. That's unheard of. Nobody does that. Tom Brady doesn't do that. Peyton Manning didn't do things like that. That's next level preparedness to catching footballs off the jugs machine. That's, the machine that fires football at you from other receivers. Again, very few running backs do that. Certainly rookie running backs. This is very impressive stuff from Brown here. Back to the report. If it sounds like Brown, the 5th rounder everyone is rooting for, has already been in the NFL for years, offensive coordinator Brian Callahan agrees. He's already a pro, Callahan says. He's had a pro's mindset in college. Great character with a great work ethic, and those things will translate well. All right, Miles, I really love everything we're seeing about this kid. Look, I liked him in college. I thought if he had gone to an Ohio State or a Michigan, he would have been one of the biggest names in college football. He didn't. Was a slightly lighter recruit, went to Illinois, and had a really great career. This guy was fantastic. And he's got everything you want. He's a little shorter, 5'9", but he's thick, 210, great speed, 4.4 40, can break a lot of tackles. According to PFF Mice, he finished second in all of college football last year with forcing missed tackles. Only Bijan Robinson, the great running back from Texas, had more. This is a guy who I think can finally add a big play dimension to the Bengals backfield, and they need it for the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think they've had a single rushing attempt, I should say, longer than 50 yards out of the backfield position in the 2020s. That's crazy. They've been lacking that big play element. I think Brown's the kind of guy that can give it to him. And the fact that he's off to such a strong start is a great sign for Cincinnati. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this, Miles. But before I throw a review, I want to remind everyone to stay tuned to the end of the video to learn more about our partner of today's video. And that, of course, is Neuro. Neuro has a lot of great products to leave you a fast and quick boost of energy. We love to take their mints or their gums right before the show. It gives us a spike of energy we need to get through this content. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video to learn more about Neuro and, most importantly, to get access to our special discount code. All right, Miles, I'll throw it over to you now. What's the latest? What are your thoughts on this latest out of Cincinnati? Excuse me.
Yeah, Nick, this guy really does seem kind of very special, and it's surprising he went in the 5th round. He was a hidden gem, as you said. If he wasn't on Illinois, he might have been a much bigger recruit. I want to go back through some of those advanced metrics you were touching on. 83 missed forced tackles. That was one you talked about. Really, really great there. This guy was 11th in yards after contact, almost 935 yards after contact. So the size you mentioned doesn't seem to be a factor. He can take a hit and keep on going. Then he had 23 carries of 15 plus yards. So that's that big play threat you were talking about. He has some explosive running in those legs. And finally, Nick, the jugs machine, something we don't necessarily see a lot of running backs do. Only 1 drop all of last season. So this guy really seems to put the work in. He is a grinder. He's a planner, and I love to see those things, especially as such when they pan out on the field. That is what we like to talk about on this channel when we talk about guys coming from college to NFL. What is the production like on the field? This guy looks like a stud as far as production on the field. He went from 2020 to rushing 500 yards, 1,000 yards in 2021, 1,600 yards in 2022, progressively got insanely better every single year. This guy is outstanding as far as production and numbers go, and I think that he is going to be a huge contributor if he can get the ball into his hands on this Bengals team, because Joe Mixon contract may be coming to a point where they can start to move on to it and save a little bit of money. And as we know, running backs metaphorically die young in the NFL. It doesn't seem like a great idea to keep a high paid running back on the roster anymore, especially when you can get a guy real cheap on a rookie deal and get a lot of production out of him. This guy seems like a perfect fit for a Bengals team if they can get a hidden gem type of deal out of this guy and help them extend that ever-present Super Bowl window.
And Miles, I'm just going to end this on one more point here. If you're looking for a team if you're a team like the Bengals that's looking for a Super Bowl and you're hoping a young guy can come in and contribute, the only way that a young guy is going to contribute is if he's mature, if he's mentally tough, if he's been there before, has that pros mindset. That's one of the things I love about Chase Brown. That's how you know he's going to be an impact player, not just in the long term for Cincinnati, but in the short term as well. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy becomes a big time third down back, a spell guy for Mixon, or whatever it may be over the course of the season. And frankly, early in the season, his mindset is going to pay huge dividends for the Bengals.
All right, Miles, we would like to give a special thanks to our partner in today's video, Neuro.
That's right, Nick. And I want you to go with me on a journey really fast. I want you to imagine this. It's 4th and goal in the big game, Nick. Your team is relying on you to make the big time game winning play. I know you've been in this situation before, Nick. The stadium is roaring. The clock is ticking. The game is on the line. But if only in that moment you were able to have some Neuro Gum. Neuro Gum will help you stay concentrated, and it gives you a burst of energy without a nasty crash.
That's right, Miles. Neuro has thoughtfully curated ingredients and does endless lab testing, which means that you can reach the right state of mind safely and consistently. That's the most important part. It gives you a clean burst of energy and focus without the jitters of coffee or any of those other energy drinks.
That's right, Nick. And if you click our sponsor link in the description below, you can enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it.